Namaskar, dear students. I, Harsh Nania, Assistant Professor from Government Law College, Ajmer, is present before you to deliver a lecture on the subject of interpretation of statutes. So, we were studying classification of various kinds of statutes with reference to the object, and today we will try to understand what is a repealing statute. Yes, a repealing statute. A repeal, as the word, is very clear in itself, and it suggests that it is replacing some earlier act altogether. So your guess is completely right, because a repealing statute repeals an earlier law on that particular subject, and this thing may be expressly by using express language in the statute, new repealing statute itself, or it may be in the implied form. Okay, because we all know, as soon as a new statute on a particular subject which was already existing is introduced, it directly means that the earlier statute is replaced, because the legislature is supposed to have the knowledge of all the statutes. Okay, so it does not do any act unnecessarily. Okay, so now let's take an example. The Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 replaced the earlier Code of Criminal Procedure 1898. Similarly, the Hyderabad Municipality Act 1956 replaced and repealed the earlier act in this regard. So I think it's clear to you people. Now let's try to understand what is a curative or a validating statute. A curative, as the word is very clear, and it is passed to clear the defects which were existing in the earlier law, or it has come to validate any legal proceedings or any instrument or acts of public or administrative authorities. Okay, so it legalizes the actions of public as well as administrative authorities, which in absence or for the want of such authority would be invalid or completely illegal. So it is generally added the word notwithstanding any judgment, decree or order of any court. This is prefixed. Okay, it is there in any kind of curative or validating act. Okay, so you can identify the same by just looking for these words: notwithstanding any judgment, decree or order of the court. Okay, and due to the passing of a curative or a validating act, the actions of these authorities or these instruments become valid now. Okay, and now the court will hold the acts of these authorities or these instruments as legal, and appropriate actions will now be legal. Now let's understand the last kind of classification is which is a classification with reference to the scope of its application. And there are mainly two kinds of statutes which fall under this category, which are: first one is a public statute. A public statute is a statute which is public in nature, which is having wide range ramifications. Okay, and it might be either either having a general nature or special nature, or it might be local. Okay, but it has wide range ramifications to the public. Okay, the second one is a private statute. A private statute is private in nature and it has individual effect. Okay, And let's now take some examples. In England, after the passing of Interpretation Act 1998, all the statutes are considered to be public statute unless contrary appears from the context. Okay, and all the acts passed after 1850 are considered to be public statutes. Okay, and if any individual comes to the court and claims that it is a private statute, then he or she must prove to the court beyond reasonable doubts that it is a private statute. Interpretation is the primary function of the judiciary, and the judiciary is expected to work as per the legislative intent. And while interpreting a statute, court is not expected to act arbitrarily. Rather, it has to interpret those statutes in a scientific manner, and in order to decipher the true legislative intent and work in accordance with it. So therefore, the court has, in order to work in a manner so as to ascertain the true legislative intent, it has evolved various principles which are also known as the various principles of interpretation of statutes. Okay, now let us try to understand the word interpretation and construction. Though these words are used synonymously, and people do often interchangeably use these words, however, these two words have different meanings. For example, interpretation is trying to decipher the true sense of any word or any statute as the legislature truly intended. Okay, by giving the words their ordinary and natural meaning. Whereas in construction, what we try to do is we try to draw out conclusions on the basis of the same principle again, that is, we want to work as per the legislative intent. But here we are not bound by the natural and ordinary meaning of the words. Okay, we can even go beyond that. That is why the word construction has been used. Construction here refers to even going beyond the letters of the law, so as to reach out to the true legislative intent. Okay, and as I've already told you people that statute contains various things, which are mainly a short title, a long title, a preamble, marginal note, heading of group of sections or heading of individual sections, definition of interpretation clause, exceptions, explanations, saving clause, provisos, illustrations, and the punctuations, schedules, etc., etc. So we have to interpret the statutes accordingly with the help of these various bodies contained in a particular statute. So for today, I think it's sufficient, and we will meet again tomorrow. Till then, keep studying, keep reading, and please be careful because the pandemic is ongoing, and we should not be careless. Okay, we should be really careful until the vaccine comes out. Okay, so thank you, dear viewers and students, for being here. Have a nice day.